Oh, hi there! Welcome to Panda's Kitchen. Today we are going to be making vegetable lo mein. Lo mein. We're going to use spaghetti. So vegetable lo mein is a staple Chinese noodle stir fry, and for good reason. It's delicious, it's filled with vegetables. You can add and remove things as you want. Naturally, we want to learn how to make a good one at home. Typically, you would use a Chinese lo mein noodle, but sometimes that's hard to source and tends to be a bit more expensive than, like, let's say, a pasta. While this won't be the most authentic recipe, I can promise you this will be a very home cook friendly recipe. Okay? You ready to go? Let's get cooking. First things first, we're going to get the water boiling for the noodles. We're going to use pasta today instead of traditional lo mein noodles. If you want to be very authentic, go ahead and use lo mein noodles. I'm using spaghetti because it's more easily found where I live. The main difference between lo mein and a spaghetti is lo mein tends to be made with egg, and so for a plant-based version, that's obviously a route we can't go down. I'm going to stick with spaghetti today, and it's completely acceptable. Once the water is boiling, I'm going to cook this per the package instructions, and then the key here is to drain and rinse these very well. This is very different than when you use pasta normally. We actually want to get rid of all the starch because it's going to make stir frying a lot easier, so don't forget that step. So the first thing we will do is prepare our sauce. Today I'm using my Chinese cleaver. Don't get this confused with a meat cleaver. This cleaver is actually specifically designed to cut vegetables. I prefer to use these because there's a lot of weight behind the knife and it makes chopping a little easier. It all comes down to personal preference. Why I would use one over the other honestly comes down to how I'm feeling that day. This also doubles as a scraper. I'll link this exact one I use in Amazon below. We'll start with just one stalk of green onion. This is going into the sauce. Cut off the hairy bit, and then we're only going to use the root for the sauce, but we will chop this green part later. We're going to mince this bottom part. Found this cool technique, and let's see if I can pull it off today. You're going to cut at 45 degrees, but you're not going to go all the way down. And then you're going to flip it. The other side, do the same thing, 45 degrees, making sure you're not cutting all the way down. And then slice like normal, and you should come out with really fine green onion pieces. So this roughly equates to about a tablespoon of green onion, which is what we're going for. We're only using the root because we're trying to extract the flavor in the sauce. So I have a measuring cup here in which I'll make my sauce. So I'll just transfer everything straight into there. I'm gonna go ahead and prepare these for the actual stir fry. We just need to cut them into like 1-inch sticks, and that's it. So we have a thumb-sized piece of ginger, which we are going to mince. My favorite way to peel this is by using a spoon. I'll go straight over my compost bag. I'm gonna just cut off this really tough end here. So we're just gonna cut into planks, stack the planks on top of each other, cut in strips, and then we'll mix. So we'll just go straight into the bowl here. Into this cup, 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing cooking wine, and if you don't have Shaoxing cooking wine, you can use dry sherry, that will work as well. 1 tablespoon of sugar, you can use any sugar you want, I'm using brown today. 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, this is a vegan oyster sauce. This is a teaspoon of dark mushroom flavored soy sauce. This is going to add really nice color to our sauce. If you don't have this, skip it and just add a little bit more soy sauce. Half a teaspoon of sesame oil. Using a pair of chopsticks, mix this very well, especially to get the sugar dissolved. See how it is? Delightful. The reason we make the sauce first is because we want the green onion and the ginger to kind of infuse with the rest of the liquid. So set that off to the side and let's prep the vegetables. Now I have 2 leaves of napa cabbage. Going forward, we're going to be cutting the rest of the vegetables into strips. A lot of julienning. So the same plate that we put the green onion on, just transfer the napa cabbage onto there too. Okay, what should we do next?
What would you do for
a Klondike bar? Alright, next we have a carrot. You can use one really itty bitty carrot like this, or you can use half a carrot, doesn't matter. So I'm going to cut off the ends here, and we're going to julienne. Next I have 4 ounces of mushrooms. You can use any mushrooms. These are baby bella mushrooms.
How many times can I use the word mushroom today?
We'll pluck out the stems here. And with these stems, you can save them for stock or you can compost them, do whatever you want with them. Same thing, thin slices. Next I have a stalk of celery. We're only going to use half of it. Then we have a red bell pepper. Again, only going to use half of this. Save the rest for later. Again, julienne, that rhymes. Lastly, 1 clove of garlic. Cut off the end and we're just going to give a nice smackaroon. Okay, and we're going to finally mince this one. And we'll just leave this on the cutting board because we are done with chopping.
Woo!
Let's move to the stove! So, the key of lo mein is to make sure you don't have too much going in on the pan at once. So we're going to fry the vegetables first, get some nice texture on them, take them off the pan, do the same with our noodles, put them all together, and it's going to be delicious. Splash of oil in. You can use any oil, just avoid strong tasting oils like extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil. I'm using avocado today. We are getting this pan as hot as it freaking goes. I have this blasting on high heat. We're gonna first go in with the garlic and immediately we're gonna go in with the rest of our vegetables minus the green onion. I'm gonna hit it with a quick pinch of salt to help things wilt down faster. And we'll stir fry until everything is nice and brown. We'll just set this off on another plate. Just a touch more oil. And go in with their noodles. So my noodles are sticking a little bit, so I'm going to put a little bit more oil on the side. You see how they're already charring, that's good. Now let's go in with our vegetables. Mix those well. Now pour in your sauce. Don't be a dum-dum like me. Spread it around a bit more. There we go. Now it's starting to look more like lo mein. And we're basically going to cook this until the moisture from the soy sauce has evaporated. Go with your green onion. And we are done. Let's plate up. Veggie lo mein. Skol Vikings.
Skol Vikings. Na-na-na-na.
Woo!
I don't know the actual words.
Shall we? It really does look like lo mein, and it's the dark soy sauce that really makes it look like that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh shit, yeah.
That was delightful.
Oh shit, yeah. That's really good. If you served this to me and told me you use spaghetti, I have no idea. Oh yeah. We got some sriracha. Oh yes.
This is really good.
The vegetables don't get nearly as charred when you use a legit wok and an industrial grade burner. But this is not bad for doing it at home. Only things that you really need to watch out for is making sure you're using the right amount of noodles and the right amount of sauce. As far as vegetables go, throw in whatever you freaking want. Like a piece of broccoli. I would say a good ratio to try to stick to in your head is a 3-to-1 ratio of noodles to vegetables.
This is a really good idea, Sarah. I'm glad you mentioned it because this meal is superb.
It's so good. All right, there we go. Veggie lo mein. That was delicious. That was 2 servings perfectly, but if she wasn't here, I could have easily smashed that myself too. Like, that freaking good. Honestly, it's a great opportunity to practice your chopping skills, a great opportunity to kind of get creative with all the vegetables you want to use, and it's so good. Just go ahead and make it at home. But thank you for the great idea. I think this turned out great. Thank you so much for watching.
Let us know what you'd like to see next.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.